Jesus is God, so it wasn't human sacrifice. You hear that a lot. I mean, I hear it a lot. I know you've heard it hundreds of times. Just, if you would, just lay out for the viewers what's the easiest way to quickly diffuse that and move on to the next topic.
Okay, so if you are a Gnostic Christian, okay, that's fine. That will work. If you subscribe to an expression of Christianity called the Marcion movement that was flourished in the 2nd century, I mean, that could work. And the reason is that Gnostic Christians believe that Jesus was never human, and that what happened was this deity, one of many deities, entered an ordinary guy, it turns out Jesus, and inhabited his body, but really the God Jesus was never human. And the whole crucifixion really was just an appearance. Jesus appeared to be crucified, but it was an apparition, and that explains the cry of dereliction found in the book of Mark, where Jesus is on the cross saying, my God, why have you forsaken me? So Gnostic Christians explain this very easily and say, the guy who was crucified wasn't the deity Jesus at all. It was a guy whose body was inhabited, and then when the deity left his body, the guy is on the cross going, what the heck happened to me? If you are not a Gnostic Christian, this doesn't work. It doesn't work because Christians believe that Jesus was fully human. They don't believe that he was God and not human. The Gnostics did believe that. Marcion did believe that. But what is called Orthodox, lowercase o, did not believe that. So therefore, Christians subscribe to the notion that Jesus was absolutely, completely human. Now, the notion that he was a mode of God doesn't work, because when it says, you are my son in whom I am well pleased, in the opening chapter of the book of Mark, who is God talking to? Was God saying, I'm pleased with myself? I mean, this is completely preposterous. This makes Zeus worship look intelligent. So as it turns out, this is a false dichotomy. Christians do not believe that Jesus was just spirit and not human. They believe he was fully. It's not that they believed it in the early days, but the improved version of Christianity that we encounter today is not Gnostic Christianity. All mainstream Christians today believe that Jesus was fully human, and his divinity did not mitigate or take away or diminish from his humanity. So it's just simply inaccurate to say that. It's just not true. None of this all works is because obviously the earliest Christians never believed that Jesus was God. That is a later Christian development. It's a later Christian invention. And of course, but the problem for the church was when it had introduced the notion Jesus was God, there was a problem, and that is, if Jesus is God and the Father is God, that means you have two gods. The Christians were stuck. And the stuck problem is they had the Jewish Bible that said there is one God and there is no one else. Now, Gnostics and those who adhere to the teachings of Marcion, again, mid-2nd century, they didn't have a problem with that because they didn't believe in the Jewish Bible. Marcion believed that the God of the Jewish Bible was a completely different God than the God of the Christian Bible, and therefore there were two gods, different gods, and therefore he didn't care about the God who created the world of the Jews, because that God was a tough God, and the God of Jesus was the God of grace and love. The Gnostics believed further than that. Gnostics believed that the God who created the world, the God of the Jews, was an evil deity, a bad God, and that they couldn't give a hoot about any statements that there is one God. So for them, this was not a problem. They can have Jesus as a God. Everybody can be gods. Gnostics believed all Gnostics were pagans. Not all Gnostics were Christians, but all Christian Gnostics, Gnostic Christians, Gnostic it comes from the Greek word gnosis, which means knowledge. And what does knowledge mean? Like, what does that mean, knowledge? Well, knowledge means that you came to this evil world, this very evil world. I'm not going to go into it. And basically, you needed knowledge to know who you were, how you got here, most importantly, how to escape this very evil world, this material world that was created by the evil God of the Jews. And therefore, there were many deities, Jesus included, who came to impart knowledge how to escape this world. That's all I'm going to go into. This is much more elaborate than that, but that's it. So this doesn't work. Nothing works. It doesn't work because it's like Nixon and the Watergate tapes. The more you lie, the more you cover up, the more trouble you get into. None of this works.